eventually.
Computers now have primary control of critical functions.
Greetings, all you wild and weirdos and weirdettes. It is I, Ron. This is Joe over here. This is Wild and Weird Radio Live, and we are coming to you for a very special weekend kickoff that we will be getting into shortly. But right before that, I am going to remind you that we do have the goals set on the clock. I have upped it by 5, and every bit of that is going to be going to your next meeting because we got some plans.
Yep, we're building the bank for the next event that we're going to be putting together for next quarter. Expect that to be roughly 70 to 90 days from this weekend. And it's going to be a good time. Speaking of this weekend, March the 29th is the inaugural meeting of the West Virginia High Strangeness Collective, and we are getting together with everybody who wants to show up. By your request, we are having a taco bar. It is going to be a great time. Remember, head over and RSVP. I need you guys, as many as you can, that are on the interested or maybe list, to make a decision and go hit the going list and get yourself off the maybe list, because I want to be able to prepare enough food for everybody and make sure that we got everything covered. I know that there's about 20, 25 people who are hanging out on that list still. If that is one of you who are listening, go pull the trigger and say, yes, I'm going to be there. That way we can get you included in and make sure that we got enough food for everybody.
Or say no. That's okay too, because there's more of these. And don't be afraid to say, I can't make it this time, guys. That's
it's not going to hurt our feelings.
No.
Any of the ones that you can't make it, like, we understand in the process, hidden interested, it helps boost it and drive it out there and get people to see it. But
absolutely,
you can hit no and leave a comment for support or something. That'd be fine. However you want to do it, that's fine. But we just
doesn't matter. We just want to make sure we feed everybody.
Confirmed RSVPs by tomorrow at like 3 p.m.
But if you don't want
whatever that number is at 3, whatever
matter.
that number is at 3 p.m., that's about what I'm cooking for.
So if and there'll be other food there too. So if you do happen to show up, and you're like, well, I missed the tacos. Well, other people are bringing stuff too. So there will be stuff there, but we do want to make sure that we get enough out for everybody, because it looks like it's going to be a pretty good turnout. We have confirmed the test on all the equipment at this point. It does work. Everything works. Everything's good. So you will get to see, a very interesting presentation. You'll also get to see some equipment, how it works. And I've also heard that some of our guys and girls out there, the wild weirdos and weirdettes, they're going to be bringing in some of their stuff, and everybody's going to be talking about that and showing it off and whatnot as well. This event is made for learning. And it's for community building. So by all means, if you have something you want to bring it, and do show how it works, tell how it works.
And if you got a weird haunted object, bring that too. That'd be fun.
I don't like haunted objects, but if you want to, that's entirely up to you.
We've got people busting in the door already. Ada Cox with Owls. Thank you, Ada. You are amazing. We appreciate you very, very much. And here we go. We've got Nancy White right behind her. Thank you, Nance. You're amazing. We love you as well. And then we've got Gary Schuler. It looks like where did his go? Like I lost
Gary.
it. It's here.
Gary.
There it is. Gary.
Gary.
Thank you, Gary. We love you, brother. Can't wait to see you this weekend. It's going to be an absolute ball. Yes, Jen, I have you guys marked down as two coming. I got everybody that I knew that is coming that we know personally, which there's a bunch of you guys that we know personally. If you guys have a significant other, I have already factored them into the equation as being there. If you marked RSVP'd over on the event, or you have said that you were going to be there here, I've just assumed and calculated that number in, and just to get everybody covered.
Yes. All right. Well, so, let's get everybody welcomed in. There's a bunch.
Yeah, because this list, they kicked off hard.
There's a bunch.
We've got obviously Nancy, Ada, and Gary, but we've also got Vincent Ellison in the house. We've got Uvaru in the house.
Uvaru.
We've got Beth in the house. Teresa's hanging out there.
Teresa.
What's going on, Teresa? Dances with Orbs is here.
Dances.
We got Linda Sigmund. How you doing?
Linda.
Danny Buckner. We've got Danny Boy. What's going on? We've got Jordan Booker. We got Nikki Bennett. What's going on, Nikki? And Terry McCullough. We've got LW thumbnail. That is great.
LW got him a little friend there. I got one of those.
I dig it. And we got who else? Oh, Oz is here. What's going on?
Oz is over there.
Obviously, the Trackway clan is in the house. What's going on, Trackway folks? And we got who else? Seeing if I'm missing anybody. I think I got everybody. Jen's in the house. What's going on, Jen? And Larry Potter. What's going on, Larry? I love the picture of those mushrooms. That's such a good photo. Then we got who else? Larry Hose is in the house. Happy Thursday, everyone. Happy Thursday right back at you, brother. Hope you are getting ready and geared up for your weekend, my friend.
It's gonna be a good time.
Yep. Octopus with a few friends is here in the house. What's going on, Octo? And Power Band Sasquatch is in the house. Jason Ratliff, what's going on?
Power Band is probably going to need a little bit of Power Band's going to need a little bit of energy from you guys, a little bit of positive energy sent out, little prayers if you like. Got a little flu going on, so let's.
Bummer.
Yeah, won't be able to make it, but that's okay. Like I said, there are more. Don't worry, it's okay.
Then we got, let's see, Dark Wolf. What's going on, CP? How you doing, buddy? Then we got Enzo Cirilli is in the house.
That's a question. What is the best way to get you money for the shindig?
You're good, brother.
The donations. It's just
you can throw a donation here in the super chat, and that'll be fun. There's no charge on the event itself.
No.
But if you want to make a donation and to help getting things going forward, right now we're making collections for the next event to make sure that we can do something really, really cool. Tony Breen's in the house.
Something cool.
I think that Rob Posey. What's going on?
Rob.
We are all caught up, I do believe.
All right. We got our normal base here. All right, cool. Well, everybody get this thing shared out. We've got a lot to really cover tonight. There's a lot going on with this little developing story that we actually were talking about last week. In fact, I think we kind of hit it before a lot of the others did hit it.
We hit it a day before everyone else,
which is
somehow
rare.
It was rare that we actually got ahead of a story,
rare.
and it
That's how it
still,
works.
it broke and blew up, and the
Yeah.
wave got out in front of us.
Yeah. Yeah. It always happens. It doesn't matter. We're not that significant. I don't know why it bothers anyone. I don't care anymore. So what matters is that the people here got to see it first. So congratulate yourselves. Yay. Anyway, so tonight we're
And
what
Jason,
we
we're
got.
we'll be talking about some of that because that's what this show is going to be about. We're going to be talking about all of it. We'll be playing devil's advocate some, and we're going to be asking the hard
Absolutely.
questions and taking a look at the data.
Absolutely. And there's some weird stuff, and there's some there's real stuff, and there's some exaggerated stuff. Let's just say that at this point.
John P. Adventures is here in the house. I love that thumbnail. That is great.
Oh my gosh, that's cool.
That's great. Enzo, you brought me out, brother. Well, hey, thanks, Enzo. Thanks for inviting some folks out here.
Absolutely.
John, it's good to have you.
That's how it works. Word of mouth. Just let everyone know it's there, because the algorithms don't do it
No.
unless we get more people. So that's the goal. That's what we're trying to do.
Michael Tovar, what's going on,
Michael from Austin, Texas.
Good seeing you back in the show.
Aboard. Welcome aboard. Okay. Well, folks, you were here last week when we had the little discussion started up. I don't remember who brought that up or how. They even sidetracked me on it because I didn't know anything about it at the time. But
they're talking about the pyramids.
Yeah, but now it's
just that was everywhere. Me. I blew it out in the news.
Didn't someone ask about it, and you were like, "Oh, by the way, have you seen this?"
No, it was coming out in the news. Like I'd already had it staged, gotcha. And yeah. So
gotcha. Well, for those who don't know or been living under a rock, I guess. Apparently, last week it was released that there was this thing discovered under the pyramid complex. Joe, you want to go ahead and rebrief it?
This is one of the first articles that broke back on the 22nd. It said scientists who discovered a vast city underneath Egypt's Giza pyramid reveal new secrets about mysterious structures. We got Chris over here kicking it down. Thanks, brother. I'm going to get your blessing out there in just a second. The mystery of an underground city beneath Egypt's pyramid deepens as scientists have shared new details about what may lie more than 4,000 feet below the surface. A team of Italian researchers claim they have uncovered giant vertical shafts wrapped in spiral staircases and a massive limestone platform containing two enormous chambers with descending channels resembling pipelines. Yes, folks, that is how this story started breaking, and every major and minor news source out there started taking off because this is straight up sensational, gotta read it bait, right? You see that and you're like, what? And there is actually a paper that goes along with it. So where are we sitting, Ron?
Well, I mean, you're talking about this thing, and like it says, the researcher said there was a water system also that had been identified beneath these platforms. They used, and this is where it gets weird, they used radar pulses. This is in this article because you're going to hear different versions of this.
The thing is, there's a lot of misconceptions because, some of these authors are trying to write it up and make it their own way. And instead of using the actual name of the radar type, you hear radar pulses and a few other different phenomena, or not phenomena, but a few other different techniques.
Definitely. And I think it's added to a lot of the confusion, but this description is not quite accurate. Radar pulses to create high resolution images deep in the ground beneath the structures, the same way sonar radar is used to map the depths of the ocean. That is not how this worked.
Absolutely.
By any long shot. This is not how this worked at all. While the bombshell claims have been dismissed by other experts as false and exaggerated, the team believe there is an entire hidden world of many structures more than 2,000 feet below the water system. When we magnify the images in the future, we will reveal that beneath it lies what can only be described as a true underground city, said Corrado Malanga from Italy's University of Pisa in a statement translated to English. Now, what's interesting here to me is in this article, it says the scientists' work, which has not been peer reviewed by independent researchers, has also suggested that the Pyramid of Khafre might conceal undiscovered secrets, notably the fabled Hall of Records. And this is where it goes into the what category. The Hall of Records, a legendary concept often linked to ancient Egyptian lore, it is believed to be hidden beneath the pyramid complex, beneath the Sphinx. We're going to talk about that later as well. But that's how this thing kicks off, and that's how it just snowballed from images like this, which look pretty good. That looks like a scientific survey. That looks right.
Yeah.
It looks weird, but it looks right. I can understand that. That looks cool. I got that. I can get you here. But then we started getting images like this.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, what?
And then they started getting more and more and more complex.
And they got more bizarre as we went along, by the way. All the way up to these AI generated incredible 3D models, and some are very good, by the way.
This model was included in the original presentation.
This is the presentation. Yes.
So
that is the presentation. What is amazing to me is that this, and we showed this last week, but
yes,
if you really look at what's going on here, I mean, okay, I get it. We're looking down at the pyramid, and we're not getting a straight on, Z-axis. We're getting this
right.
It's kind of tilted a little bit, and then you've got this weird kind of elongation going on the coils. I can see the coils plain as day. They're there. There is something there that resembles coils. But if I look at it the way that I'm seeing it, it appears that some of those coils are more red. Now, this is not heat, okay? This is not particularly heat. This is not a thermal image, is what I'm trying to get at. The data is showing, according to these people who are conducting this thing, basically vibrations. That's how these images were actually found. That, according to what it says, these things, these structures, are resonating at some point, and they use this satellite technology, a brand new breakthrough technology.
SAR radar.
Yes, it has never been used like this, from what I understand. It can detect minute vibrations underground. That doesn't surprise me, really, not at all. But what we have to ask ourselves is why is this vibrating?
Well, the way SAR, we'll start with how SAR works. So synthetic aperture radar, it uses the movement of the radar system itself. Generally, it's with a satellite or an aircraft or a very high altitude drone. It can also be done handheld with a push pulley method, but similar to how GPR works. But this in a way is different than GPR, where with GPR you have to keep it as level as possible. Otherwise, your sled, like if your sled gets a little off, it can skew your data with a GPR. With SAR, it's the exact opposite. You want the motion in the radar system because that is how it collects its data. It uses this motion to create a high resolution image by effectively simulating a much larger antenna than physically possible. That's the ones that are shot from above and using either satellite, drone, or aircraft radar system, mounted radar systems to work. They've been used by NASA. They've been used by NOAA and a few other different agencies. It is relatively new, but this stuff, it works, and it's very sensitive and it's very effective.
It is essentially, and this is where it got confused. This is where a lot of the web experts immediately jumped on it and said it was a hoax or it was nonsense because they thought it was LiDAR. This is not LiDAR. LiDAR doesn't work like that. LiDAR is something completely different. It doesn't see through the ground, is what I'm trying to say. Not that deep. Not that deep. Hey, Ashley. But yeah, that's so
Yeah,
there's a
lidar will see through soft strata. Okay,
right.
like say if you've got like up to 3 feet of leaf litter and kind of composite material, or decomposition material that's loose, and then you have very hard strata underneath, like say a laid road.
Mm-hmm.
That's how the GPR, or not GPR, but LiDAR works.
LiDAR.
It scans through all of that soft strata till it hits something
Deformations.
hard and
Yeah,
reflects
it finds
back.
finds the deformations, but this doesn't. That's not what this was,
Mhm.
especially as deep as it was. So this is where people got confused with this, and everyone wrote their own little thing about it, and then all of a sudden we just have this massive amount of confusion going on where it looks so unreal that no one's even going to pay attention to it.
Yep, and it's kind of getting a lot of stink as well.
Oh, it's getting a
Like
big bunch of stink because immediately this
this
began to
this is
happen.
on the 23rd. So this is
It's
the very
23rd.
next day.
Mhm.
Experts clash over underground city. The underground city claims really bold. Okay. And this underground city was partially being made to blame on a lot of the news articles. Um, the claims that the underground city exists beneath ancient Egypt pyramids have caused a row among experts. Researchers from Italy say they have uncovered a giant vertical shafts wrapped in spherical cases under the Khafre pyramid. Said on Sunday they had found in a limestone platform with two chambers and channels that resemble pipelines for water systems more than 2,100 feet below the pyramid, with underground pathways leading even deeper into the earth. But the claims, which have not been published or independently peer reviewed, were labeled as false and exaggerated by fellow Egyptologists. Ron, do you want to
Well,
expound upon Egyptologist?
I think we all know exactly what we're talking about here when we say fellow Egyptologists. Um, yeah, they're not going to admit that any of this is real, even if it is real. There's too much money to be lost if they do. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, I
Because
agree.
because the Antiquities Commission literally controls the information that comes out of that place. You don't stick a shovel in the sand unless they say you can.
Yeah, yeah, you can't get too close unless they're with you. Like
No.
you have to be guided in every like it's so this study was actually conducted under their nose. Like they knew about it, is what I'm saying. They were
Yep.
in on the study. They were a part of it. They had not necessarily. I think honestly, the way I have come to understand it, this study was brought to their attention, and not for what this was, but they were going to be trying to look for chambers and tombs, right? And that this new radar was going to be of great assist in that, and that's why the antiquities department were like, yeah, okay, we'll greenlight this. And then come now, because this happened in 2022, fast forward 3 years, they had their presentation. And Professor Lawrence Conyers, a radar expert at the University of Denver who focuses on archaeology, told the Daily Mail it was not possible for the technology to penetrate that deeply into the ground. He said the idea that it proves an underground city existed is a huge exaggeration.
Which I think that's accurate, what he said about the exaggeration part. But again, he's talking about something else. This was not traditional radar.
Because this was being fed by everyone. Every
Yes,
early article says GPR, ground penetrating
they
radar,
did.
which this is not.
I've seen some say LiDAR.
Oh, you
Actually,
have seen some say
I've seen some that
LiDAR?
said LiDAR. Yes, there were
Okay.
some posts that said LiDAR. I'm like, I don't even respond to them. There's no
No,
point.
yeah, no, I seen Facebook posts and stuff that were saying LiDAR.
LiDAR.
I was, yeah, in the actual articles I was seeing GPR,
No, no,
GPR,
no. This
GPR.
was in one of those, the social media things that everybody
Yes.
puts up, the reels,
Yes.
the things that get millions of clicks, whereas we who try to tell the truth get none. That kind of thing.
Those
Yes. Yes,
videos and those
absolutely.
posts. Yes.
Perhaps we should exaggerate more in the future.
Right? There was
Maybe.
an ancient city found underneath the
There was an
depths of
ancient city
Point
found
Pleasant,
underneath.
West Virginia,
Yes,
deep
there,
beneath the TNT igloos, and
it's
that's where
true.
Batman lives.
He lives there. No. Okay. Anyway.
Anyway,
Anyway.
this so
back to this.
SAR radar doesn't work that way,
No.
but he said it was convinced conceivable small structures such as shafts and chambers may be present from before the pyramids were built. He highlighted how the Mayans and other peoples in ancient Mesoamerica often built pyramids on top of the entrances to caves or caverns that had ceremonial significance to them, which is true.
Yep.
The work of Professor Malenga and a few other researchers, Filippo Biondi and Armando May, was previously discussed during a briefing in Italy last week, which was the presentation.
Right. And at that briefing, these are some of the things that they showed them, some of the things that they said. They said that, they showed the image created here by using, listen, the pulses, which they claim included a complex luminous structure with distinct vibrations, they believe is an actual underground city. Now, that is where social media, the press, anybody who wanted to write something to get
Just ran.
Ran
They
with
stopped right there and
they stopped
off to the races.
right there. Because first of all, you have to remember some of this is translated, and that's a fact. It's translated words, and a complex luminous structure with distinct vibrations. I can tell you what that means. It does look like it's luminous, but if you know what you're looking at, these are vibrations. The red is the part that's vibrating the most, right? Is that
well?
what we're
It's
seeing?
density. So it would be technically the red would be
The densest part of it? That's not vibrating.
well, it would be the most reverberating part, which would almost be the most cavernous parts, like the most
Okay.
open. Like think of it
Are
like
we
a
sure?
drum.
Are we
You
sure
know?
that that's what we're looking at, though? Because they don't have a legend. See, this is another part of my
Yeah,
argument here.
you're right. It does depend on what mode
Mode.
they use. Now, Linda says,
Yeah.
does it appear hot? This isn't
We don't
thermal.
know.
This is radar signature.
See,
And
she asked a good question.
They're using this right. They're using this color palette because it's easily visible. The best way to view these things, in my opinion, are always in white hot or black hot. But when you're doing presentations and you're showing the public, these are bright and flashy and they look good on camera. Now, generally, the way that if you're detecting vibrations through a sonar or radar system, the brightest, heaviest, darkest parts, which depending on what palette and how this palette works,
Right. We don't know that.
we don't know. We're assuming that the dark color is solid ground.
Mm-hmm.
The dark color around it would be solid. So I'm using that as a basis and building up to red being the most not solid parts.
I mean, that makes sense if that's what we're looking at.
And that vibration, that resonance would be coming from a hollow chamber.
Mm.
Because the way that this would work, the way that signal is going to go in and bounce and be received back is going to be coming in a way that will the brightest or hottest signatures that you get back are going to be the ones giving off the most resonance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that resonance, resonance is a fancy word for vibration, but using terminology that's probably going to be the big defining factor for this. I think I'm going to lean in with resonance.
Oh, yeah. We don't really know what that is. I mean, that's to be fair and to say we don't know, but someone who wrote that, they seem to think they do, even though they haven't seen a, legend to this. What?
Jason brings up a good point here as well. He said, if you go to their website, they do a comparative result study of a known underground structure in a mountain in Japan, and they did match.
That's right.
Yes,
they did. And we'll talk about that in a second too. I think I have the screen clip from that.
Then Randall Carlson said it indicated it could be proof of pyramids as a power source, but either way, it shows how little we know, and it is deep.
It is very deep, and we'll also be addressing that.
Jason says the question is whether SAR can detect anything below 1 meter in limestone bedrock used for surface features to this point. Like what is the what is the tolerance on this device? What is
That's a good question.
the accuracy of measurement once you get so deep?
We don't know.
Because some of these assertions are that this is like 2,600 feet deep.
Yes.
How accurate does this radar work? Like, how much attenuation do you lose the deeper you go?
Right. We don't know. And that's my whole point. We're just literally taking what we got out of these couple of articles and thinking that we understand this, and we don't understand this. We can't. We don't know how this equipment works. The problem that I have, and this is a lot with, well, we even have this with Paranormal Horizons, is we have people who think that they know how our equipment works, and they've never seen it. And they've never held it in their hands. They've never seen the results for themselves. They've never been in the field to use it. So all of a sudden they want to tell us how it works. Although we've been using it for decades, we're doing it wrong. But that's the same kind of thing I think we're seeing here. We need somebody to come forward and say, look, this is exactly how this works. Now, there was a very good example. And I believe that was on Vetted of all of the places I believe that I'd found it on. And there was a guy who there was a clip on there that he had, and he explained it so well. I mean, it was perfectly like this guy understood how this radar system worked, because he didn't believe it either. And that's when he started diving in and trying to figure out how the system worked.
Yeah, Jason said it would be far below the water table, which creates a problem, but then so is the Seraphim.
Well, all of this is actually creating a problem, Jason.
Yeah, a lot of it. A lot of it is.
Even if it's not what they say it is, this is a problem.
So ancient architects used the correct scan tech in addressing the science. SAR is still used to scan surface features to this point, but it does not do it the same way as LiDAR.
No, it does not.
Not at all.
No, it does not. It is a completely different animal, and we need to make sure that people understand LiDAR had nothing to do with this whatsoever.
GPR, LiDAR, SAR are nothing
not
alike.
The same. No,
LiDAR and GPR are nothing alike. To the layperson who has no idea how these systems work, they might look like they do the same thing, but they are vastly different in their operation. They're vastly different in their execution of measurements, and they're vastly different in the accuracy of depths and distances and what kind of data you receive back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. What Enzo say there? What was that?
Oh, Enzo said, to me, building a giant pyramid over a known cave system may indicate that they were trying to keep something in or out.
Maybe.
Then Jason says, SAR does not see below the surface. It measures in minute changes in surface
vibration. That's right. Yes, exactly. Well, this is the good part. So what we're actually seeing is not possible without a machine interpreting those vibrations and that data.
And to be absolutely clear, for this to work in the manner in which they're saying it's working, there is an absolute metric, bleep out the S word, ton of vibration and resonance occurring.
Yeah.
For it to, if they're saying that it is detecting structures that deep, the resonance off of that would be absolutely, like, it'd be deafening. If you were in the room, like your eardrums would explode.
I don't know about that, but I do know that if it's vibrating, and if we have sensors that are capable of detecting something that's, vibrating, then boy, that's interesting, because that means you really can't hide anything anywhere, right?
Well, I mean, we haven't been able to hide anything anywhere for years.
But I'm just saying that because that's
Jason can attest to that with me.
But that's one of the
big.
Okay, I get that, but no one else does. That's the problem. People think that once it's underground, it's all hidden, but that's not true. There have been multiple decades now of research just trying to figure out where bunkers are, where these hidden tunnels are, especially during, the Gulf War. They were working on that kind of stuff back then. They have it now. You worked on some of it probably.
Yeah.
So anyway, before we go back into the conspiracy land there, let's look at this one part and really dive head first into what made everyone kind of start turning around and away from this stuff. What really made them all kind of, I think, stand back and say, I don't know, even if it's real, if I want to be associated with this, is probably that that little part right there in the middle where it's quoted. Can you read that, Joe? You see that where it's quoted? The existence?
The existence of vast chambers beneath the Earth's surface, comparable in size to the pyramids themselves, have a remarkably strong correlation between the legendary halls of Amenti.
And there is where we lost the credibility to most scientifically minded people. Even if it is true, it does not matter, because now they've brought up something that many consider a fringe topic. And that would
But then
be
we lost everybody else with more fringeness later.
Oh, well, sure. But when you start bringing in the halls of Amenti, now you have to address that. And you got to figure out, wait a minute, what are they talking about? Well, they're talking about the Emerald Tablets. They're talking about Maurice Dorel. That's who they're talking about, because he was an occultist. And this goes back to 1939 when he wrote all this stuff down, basically talking about these ancient scriptures, these ancient legends about these beings, these children of light, the 32 enlightened beings who descended, sounds familiar, to free humanity from bondage and guide it toward a spiritual evolution. Now, don't laugh just yet, because there's a lot of this that starts to sound like something else a little bit later on. But the halls are described as subterranean domains far beneath the Earth's crust, built using advanced power to serve as an eternal dwelling for these beings. They're a repository of hidden knowledge and a hub for guiding humanity's ascent from ignorance to enlightenment. Well, I'm all for that part. But there's also something called the flower of life, and that's at the center of the hall. The flowering, flaming, expanding, life-giving force that radiates power and light to those who approach it, symbolizing spiritual vitality.
You had me at radiates.
I bet I did, because that's your favorite thing to do. The Lords of Amenti. Now, check this out, Joe. The Lords of Amenti, 7 or 9, depending on your interpretation. That's those beings again. We've talked about those in the past that show up almost every time after some great catastrophe. It's actually what was the movie that Marvel did that was based on? That was what it was all based on. The Eternals. That's based on this legend of these 9 or whatever they are. But anyway, the 7 or the 9 enigmatic lords sit within, and they, veiled in power, guide humanity through destiny, through infinite wisdom. They're the custodians of humanity's spiritual journey, distinct yet undefined with humankind. So they're like us, but they're not like us, and they control us. That's good. So the thing is, this hall is supposedly guarded. Okay. It's guarded by these beings who protect it. And unless you are worthy, you cannot enter the halls of Amenti. So it got its big grasp with the New Age movement. And it's pretty much one of those things. It's part of the 20th century occultism is what it basically comes down to. Yeah. So they're bringing this up in the middle of this scientific documentation. It's not going to work.
Tony said my mind flipped to Star Trek. I heard 7 of 9. I heard 7 of 9, and my mind flipped back to not prepubescent, but pubescent Joe, and seeing 7 of 9 and being like, oh android's pretty.
Oh boy. But either way, like I said, this is where it kind of got into that factor. I think this is where it lost a lot of its credibility, because we find out that this guy is really interested in this kind of stuff. You know, I mean, again, we need Indiana Jones. Right, exactly, because I'm pretty sure there's a crystal skull down there somewhere. There's one around here somewhere. Here's one. See, I found one. Didn't have to go to the halls of Amenti to get it. There it is. Anyway, I'm not going to say that it's real or not real, but I am going to say that Edgar Cayce kind of described the same thing. He just called it something completely different. He also said, coincidentally or not, and I don't believe in those too much anymore, that this great hall of records was an ancient library, and it contained wisdom, the history of the human race, and that it was a repository. It was established by the ancient civilizations of Atlantis, was later hidden beneath the Egyptian Sphinx and the Great Pyramid of Giza. Yeah. I mean, what are you going to say to that?
Yeah, I mean, Edgar Casey, if you're not familiar with his work or who he is, I suggest you look him up. We might do an episode on Edgar Casey.
We've been threatening to do that for 2 years. You know that,
we
right?
have
It's been 2 years we have threatened to do an Edgar Casey episode, and I want to do it so right. That's why we haven't got to do it yet.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot.
Because you got to tell both sides. You have to all sides of the story anytime you do some of these things. And
well, Casey's interesting.
Yeah, it really is. And so we have a credibility shot straight to the head.
Yep.
With the Halls of Amenti.
We do. And guess what happens right after that, Joe? What happens right after that is these guys step in. So, has a massive city been uncovered underneath the Great Pyramid? Is there any truth to these incredible, exaggerated claims? No.
No credible evidence supports claims of vast underground structures found beneath the Egyptian pyramids. But now this is Snopes, okay?
Yeah, I'll call that out for what it is.
Take that for what it is. Now, here's what I'm going to say. Snopes in their header is wrong. It is vastly wrong straight out of the gate, because
they get even more wrong.
Right, but the whole Giza Plateau is limestone, and it's this type of land called karst land. If you're not familiar with what karst land is, it means it's a big giant mess of Swiss cheese. It's cavernous. It has crevasses, tunnels, and holes all through it. Yeah. Looking at that exact term, karst land, pyramids could have been built on top of a couple of these holes that lead into a massive cavern. Very possible. Very possible.
Yeah, who knows? But Snopes says they know. Boom, there you go, folks. It is false. Big old red stop sign. Big old Snopes nope is what that is. And researchers the ancient Egyptian pyramids, 5 identical structures near the Khafre pyramid's base, linked by pathways, and 8 deep vertical wells descending 648 meters below the ground, underground. Rating false. Claims that researchers discovered previously unknown structures beneath the pyramid of Khafre, the pyramid situated in the center of the Great Pyramid of Giza, using radar technology circulated on the line in March 2025. The purported discovery was that of 5 identical structures near the Khafre pyramid base, linked by pathways, 8 deep vertical wells descending 648 meters underground. They're saying it's false. Let me attack this for what it is, because we have to tear this apart. Claims that the researchers discovered previous, hear my words here, previously unknown structures. That's false. You're right. They weren't previously unknown. They knew about them. It's just that simple, because they know about everything over there.
Yeah, there's no way that they didn't know about it. So the way that this was pitched, by my understanding, because I've been looking into this for a week, Enzo, I'm going to come back to this one. It says real quick, maybe it's an upscale Darren Kuyu apartment complex, storm cellar, or a really big storm.
Hold that. Start.
Yes. So we're going to come back to that one, Enzo. That's why I said we're going to come back. I wanted to rattle it off, but we're coming back. Now, this pitch, the Egyptian antiquities, you are not allowed to fart sideways by one of the pyramids without their permission, okay? You cannot touch a grain of sand without their authority to do so.
Somebody signed off somewhere if you did.
What my understanding is, based off of numerous articles and some of these loosely interpreted interviews from Italian, was that this was pitched to the Egyptian antiquities, that this sonar could help find tombs that may be under the pyramids. The Department of Antiquities must have already had like Ron said, the knowledge that there's something under the pyramid.
They wanted to know what it was.
And that they thought, hey, it maybe could be tombs, because they've been looking for tombs and pyramids for so long and haven't found a one.
Yes.
This might be the way to do it.
Yes. They need a tomb in a pyramid. That is a fact. They need a tomb in a pyramid or under a pyramid. And they would really prefer if there'll be a human in that tomb.
Yes.
So
they go, and this project gets underway, right? And then it sets for 2 years. Nothing happens. My guess is that these results, because part of this agreement, if you go do anything with the antiquities, you got to give them everything before you do anything. So the fact that this, what Snopes says, was not peer reviewed is false, because it was reviewed by the Egyptian antiquities.
Someone had
the data was given to them. Okay. 2 years, nothing was done with it. My guess is that these guys just got tired of sitting on it, and they released it there in Italy.
Which is possible. It's very possible. So users took to social media to express their excitement over the alleged findings, posting on social media platforms of X, Instagram, Archive, TikTok, all the above, about this incredible discovery. And rather, this appears to be a spin on an already questionable research conducted in 2022 that was subsequently embellished by a variety of right-wing content creators. What? Like conspiracy websites. InfoWars contributor Greg Reese, who publishes the Reese Report, listed as a source for many of the claims pertaining to the topic. InfoWars founder and well-known conspiracy theorist Alex Jones, shared a version of the same claim on X, archived. We don't see this here, though. No one provides any source or any proof here. In short, the Reese Report theorized the alleged discovery supported the idea that the pyramids were not built as tombs, but as a sort of ancient power plant. Okay.
Now, he wrote the cylindrical wells could also be conduits for energy or sound waves, which would explain vibration, just cutting aside there. And the cubic structures might serve as an energy storage or stabilization units, akin to the components in large-scale weapon or generator. Probably a weapon. And the detection and vibrations of the pyramid's internal structures reflects all of these ideas. The Khafre Project hopes to plan an excavation in order to discover more about this underground structure, but history shows that this will be very difficult to get approval for. It ain't happening.
It ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen.
Especially now.
Ain't gonna happen. And here at the bottom is another one of the important parts of this, because we've heard it linked. They're kind of right on this part. Okay. The power plant theory is not new. It's not. That's been around forever. Go watch Ancient Aliens. They'll talk about it. Okay. It came from Christopher Dunn's book called The Giza Power Plant, Technologies of Ancient Egypt. Presented a similar idea that had been the subject of fringe science and theories. Dunn deepened the conspiracy theory, though, in 2024 with a follow-up book. And this is the one where he alleged that Nikola Tesla researched the Giza power plant. But according to them, there's no evidence of this. I used to know a lot about Tesla, and I mean, I've seen a lot of his actual writings, and I got to tell you, I have never seen anything other than he did have a curiosity about Egypt. He had a very good curiosity about Egypt, but I have never seen anything about him trying to build, this device, anything like that. I know that people link it, Wardenclyffe, to that. Well, maybe he did get inspired with it, but if he did not write it down. I wonder why. I mean, let's think about it. He is trying to get his, look at me. I'm trying to get this done. I need funding. I'm not going to go out here and start talking about ancient pyramids having, power. I'm trying to build this thing out here in the present. Bugging out early. What?
Oh, Terry says, bugging out early. I have a busy day tomorrow. I'll be seeing everyone Saturday. Be careful
See you
on your
there.
travels, Terry.
Gonna be fun.
Be safe. We'll see you Saturday, buddy. Jason Ratliff, ancient astronaut theorists say yes.
Well, we say yes about a few things, but we also say no, and we know when to say no. We also know when to say we need more data. And Snopes apparently just doesn't understand that we need more data. But here's some more stuff for you. The researchers named in the recent claims, Corrado Malanga and Filippo Biorde, did publish a paper and book about their work using synthetic aperture radar to explore the Giza Pyramid in 2022. According to NASA, probably can believe that, SAR is a type of active data collection. We're not going to talk about that. We know what it does, right? Wrong, yep. You don't, because Snopes says it's not what it is. It's a type of active data collection where an instrument sends out a pulse of energy and then records the amount of that energy reflected back after it interacts with Earth. It's a little more complicated than that. It's just not that simple, because what they literally tried to describe there, again, was LiDAR. It's not what this is. That is not what this is. It is not sonar. It is not LiDAR. They failed that. However, it does not appear that this research has been peer reviewed. And here is where it should concern you, okay? Or corroborated by credible archaeologists. So there's what you and I were talking about earlier, Joe. It's not that it wasn't peer reviewed. Read what it says.
Credible.
Archaeologists. Additionally, the research alludes to fringe theories about ancient civilizations, otherworldly intentions for the structures, which aligns with Malanga's well-documented interest in UFO and alien abduction research, as well as Dunn's power plant theory. Let me tell you something, folks. I have an interest in alien abduction theory. I have an interest in alien contact theory. I have an interest in all those weird things, okay? It doesn't invalidate the data that I collect unless you are just biased against the individual who collected the data. And if that's the case, you're not doing your job.
And you can't let your bias or your ideas influence the data.
No.
You've got to be purist with it, which this was put out there in the truest form. There were some speculation thrown in the hat, as you do. This was a massive paper.
Yeah.
But I don't think necessarily that the fact that Malanga has an interest in the phenomena, or the fact that he claims to be an abductee himself, should discredit him in any way.
Yep. Absolutely right.
This is the university that they work with. I'm not sure if anybody has looked into the university. The university was basically has some fringe departments. Okay. They study near-death experiences. They study out-of-body experiences. They study remote viewing. Essentially everything that SRI did and does. So why is it that it's strange for an Italian university to do this, but completely kosher when an American Ivy League school is involved?
It's a very good question. It's an extremely good question. And again, it's, in my opinion, another one of those character assassination attempts. This is what we saw that happened with Grush when he came out, told his story about what he saw. They immediately went after him and tried to knock his legs out from under him, saying that he had a mental illness because he had PTSD. That's not a mental illness.
Jaybird's in the house. What's going on, buddy? Good to see you dropping in.
But that's what you do. You go after the weak spots. And that's what you see here. How about we stop going after the weak spots and we start looking at the actual data?
JB says Dr. Zaya Hawass has a speaking tour scheduled for 2025. It would be interesting to hear his take on it.
Oh, he'll rip it apart.
He has not made a personal stance, but his silence has been deafening. Those near to him have spoke on his behalf, saying that he thinks that it is absolute hogwash.
Yeah.
But he himself hasn't made a public statement.
Yeah.
So
we're looking for that. We're waiting on that. So that's going to say a lot. And the fact that he hasn't said anything really says a lot as well.
Beth says, y'all watch. Years from now, they will tell us, oh, yeah, wait, that was important stuff under the Great Pyramids.
Yeah, right. That was important stuff. Well, here's the thing. I don't care if it's a power plant. I don't care if it's, a portal to the underworld or the halls of Amenti or ancient Atlantean civilization or, Zorp Kargon's mothership that got buried there. Here's the thing. The fact of the matter is there's something there, and there's something really big there that shouldn't be there, according to our history.
Right. Tony says, the late, great Joe Nichols has spoken to me through a Ouija board printed on the back of a cereal box. It's owls. Not sure that applies.
It may be.
Lisa, be safe. Be careful. Looking forward to seeing you.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, so I think we just need to wrap our head around the fact that there's actually something there.
Yeah, and let's you bring up a good point. There's a huge sunspot facing the earth right now. So just in case, this show doesn't happen next week and we're all living in a post-solar storm apocalypse, we love you.
Anyway. Well, I'm going to Egypt because I know exactly where I got to go.
Right. We're going to go start digging, right?
It worked before.
No. Yeah. Yeah. Now,
bringing back up Enzo's part with that.
Yeah. Let's go we'll hit Enzo's comment here because that was actually really, really good. And I want to get back to that. Maybe it's an upscale Derinkuyu apartment complex, a storm cellar for a really big storm.
A really big storm. Yeah. What about those really big storms in our past?
All those cataclysms, all those crazy catastrophes that have taken place multiple times throughout our history.
Yeah. Those things that are recorded in legends because people, forget because they have to do a little thing called survive.
And then you have these structures, considering all things valid here that, aren't terribly far over in Turkey from Egypt.
Göbekli Tepe, Terra Tepe, which is older than Göbekli Tepe.
Yeah.
15,000 years.
Older than the pyramids.
Older than the pyramids. I mean, someone built those things.
Yes.
We're kind of just dancing around this. And I believe that it was Brandon who told us like a year or so ago, there's an article where they said, well, they're just going to cover them back up because there's nothing to see here.
Yeah, Brandon found that article and broke it on the show here that they're just going to bury Göbekli Tepe. We've found enough.
We found everything. We're done. We're done here. What?
Mind-boggling. That means we found something we don't want anybody else to know.
Ever.
Bury this thing.
Ever.
Now.
Ever. It's like they found the Stargate.
Right.
It's like bury
Jason says, it is what it is. There's certainly something there. Whether it's natural caverns or man-made superstructure remains to be seen. Need more data. Actual deep dig that will likely never happen.
That is the key, and that is the truth. That last part right there. Need more data, which is what I've been saying from day one, right down to the bottom right there. It will never happen. Folks, it will never happen. All that this is ever going to be is a really cool story, unfortunately. It's going to be one of those things that you read in the paranormal books, in the, the really high interest books, the alternate history books. There's going to be books and books and books made of it. Probably some really cool movies. I mean, I don't know. Maybe a new Stargate. Maybe this will inspire them to redo Stargate. Right. That'd be great, right?
Right. Now, let's, it said at least not in the public.
Now, there was another article. I didn't get to put it on here because I just had so much of this stuff to do, and I've been editing videos and whatnot all day. But look, there is that. Remember what I said last week when I was talking about how it looked like Venice?
Yeah.
That's one of the things that they said. They said that this thing could be supporting the pyramids because the pyramids, in theory, should not be where they're at without some kind of a support
to be
system.
stable.
They weigh too much. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Think about it.
Yeah. We're dealing with something that's very bizarre, and the waters get muddy because of connections and accusations and taboo.
Yep.
But I want to go back to what you and I were talking about whenever I was in the truck earlier.
Okay.
SRI, Stanford Research Institute.
Yes.
They have been both feet up to their neck involved in the study of high strangeness for decades.
That's right.
There's the Virginia University that is neck deep, another Ivy League school that is neck deep in the study of high strangeness and paranormal. You have all of these Ivy League schools across the United States who at one point or another had a handshake with the federal government and was studying paranormal phenomena. And all that's okay. That's fine. It doesn't hurt the credibility of those institutions.
Yeah.
But we have an institution in Italy that is doing the same thing, that has people that, I don't know these guys. I've only been looking into them for a week, but Hal Puthoff, these guys could be, I'm not saying they are, because Hal Puthoff is an absolute brilliant human being, but these guys were professors at a university.
Yeah.
That you can't tell me that, this guy is dumb.
Oh, no.
He is teaching the future and preparing them to go out into their careers and whatnot. But how is it not acceptable? Hal Puthoff believes in all these things. Hal Puthoff believes in UFOs. Hal Puthoff believes in abduction phenomena. Hal Puthoff goes out and he believes in all these things. He was at SRI back in the day and then started his institute. None of that is viewed in squander, that it was wasted time. But you have this institution over in Italy, and everybody's like, don't believe it. Don't
right.
it. Like,
right.
Where I get the taboo garbage, but come on. At some point, we've got to start being intellectually honest with ourselves and with the community around us, because we were mentioning this. How many people in the community outside of the UFO groups and the out of body are familiar with SRI and their work in past decades? I know there's not very many people in the Bigfoot community. There's not very many people in the cryptid community that are familiar with this stuff. Not to the exhaustive knowledge of the folks in the crowds that we hang out with, but like they're still even lesser known. But all of a sudden, this one group in Italy, they're a bunch of kooks. We can't trust them. That's pseudoscience, and they're not credible.
No. I mean, you're just 100% true. And yeah, I hear that in my head as I'm reading that whole thing. Thank you.
Do you know the damage that does to the graduates of that university?
Yeah.
Just by making these kind of claims, like, you went to that university.
Yeah. Oh, you went to the Woo University. There's that bad word, but that's where the bad word comes from.
You got your degree in business administration from that university that also does out of body. I don't know if we can have you.
What did Joe always say? Nobody wants to stand near a psychic, right?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Jason says, Göbekli Tepe deal, I believe, is just they realize the original carved bedrock and T-pillars are far predate the rough stone retention walls that were C14 dated, therefore must be rehidden.
Probably.
No, you're not wrong.
We don't want to deal with this. Like yeah, we don't want to deal with this. Let's just bury this.
We're going to make this SCP. Somebody else can dig this up in 50 to 100 years.
Yeah, let them have it.
Tony said they weigh too much. The pyramids and I have something in common.
Oh, God.
Hey, we're hitting that hour mark. You want to give them what they came for last week? For hitting the mark?
What did you? Yeah. What did we do this week? Have we hit it this week yet? I don't know.
We haven't hit it this week yet.
Oh no!
But we did it
How
last
far
week.
off are we? Yeah, I've got it.
7. We're off by 7.
7. Oh my God, we need 7 more. I'll tell you what. Is that right?
They hit last week's goal.
No, I'm trying to make them a deal.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, because I always try to do that extra 5, but they're comfortable with the 10. So it's actually just 3 more. So if we get 3 more, we'll do the thing that it says there, which is basically it's just going to go to the next meeting and whatnot, and then you're going to get a really cool exclusive look, kind of like this one you're going to get to see. This is an exclusive look at the next episode of Paranormal Horizons, which is coming up, I believe, next week, right? Is it next week? I think it's next week. Yeah, it's next week. And you don't have to wait very much longer because at the end of the month, you'll get to see the other one, which follows up with this one. The whole last end of the whole last segment of Paranormal Horizons is probably, I don't know. I think it's probably some of the most important work we've ever done.
Yeah.
That's what I think. And I think that it will have reverberations for those who are actually serious researchers for years to come. That's what I think. And that's not a bold or egotistical statement. It is the data. And it's good stuff. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So I'm pretty happy about it. You're all going to get to see it soon. But right now, you're going to get to see it before anyone else. So
good night, Beth. You guys have fun. Be safe. It's moving.
Record it.
Yep, I've got him.
holy shoot. What is that? Let's do that again because it didn't play right.
Keel came up with the idea of window areas.
It went to 12.6.
Yeah. So there might be something around us we don't know.
Right there?
Hey, did that come on?
Yeah. It's moving.
Record it.
Yep, I've got him.
Holy shoot. What is that? Yeah, there you go. There it be. Where'd you go? One that does this. That's so annoying.
Bam, I got it.
There we are. We're back. Anyway, that's a little sneaky peeky of what's coming up. And I can tell you guys right now. Yeah, holy shoot. I know. Because you get a lot of these people, and why I'm telling you right now, I've tried to do that because I am so it just aggravates me when someone catches this incredible footage and you can't listen to it or you can't watch it because all it is just bleep, 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 bleep. Look at that bleeping thing. It drives me nuts. It's like, so literally, yeah, that's how it went down. I'm like, this is something. This has got to,
and then I have to keep in my mind to put kid filter on when the camera's around.
And very seldom does, but there's a lot of footage that gets scrubbed because of that. But yeah, that was a really cool thing. You guys got to see that here because again, that was one that was recommended we get it out and release it beforehand and let everybody see it. But there's so much more that goes along with that.
Yep,
and that's what you're going to get to see. It's not just that one, blue sighting of the orb. There's a reason that blue thing shows up. I think I'm not 100% sure, but I think there's a reason it shows up. Hey, Mark. And then of course Joe gets radiated as always in every episode. Joe gets radiated. So
I'm telling you, all you got to do, if we want to find the answer to whatever this is below these pyramids, we just got to see if it's radioactive or not. And if it is, I'm going to wind up there eventually.
Probably. It's probably true, but this time, it wasn't that much radiation, and mostly it was microwave radiation and actual Gauss radiation EMF, which was very strange. Glow, Joe glow.
The only thing is, like, whenever I move and crack, I don't begin to glow. Then it's when all the lights go out.
Yeah. But yeah, it's very interesting stuff. And you know what? As an extra bonus, how many of you guys out there are going to be at our little shindig this Saturday? We have incredible weather, by the way. It's going to be beautiful.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be perfect.
Hopefully, we'll be able to. I know there's supposed to be a chance of rain, but hopefully there'll be enough, clearing where we can get out there with the Manus and just have a peek at the skies. We'll see how that goes, but. Yeah, so you guys who are going to be there are going to get to see something out of the next episode, which follows this one. And man, it's something. And
Yeah.
I'm going to show you pretty much the whole clip. There's some of it's kind of boring, but I'm going to show you the raw data, not just a video clip from the show, but a raw data.
Yeah, it'll be a start to cut kind of video clip you'll see. It'll just start randomly, no music, no flashiness, just the data.
So yeah, that's going to be pretty cool. And then there'll also be, of course, the cut part, and you'll get to see right after that what we actually saw.
All right, Jason, you bring up a good point here. Are they alien or plasma orbs, or just non-physical? Conscience. My brain.
That's good. I can't do it either. So thank you for using those big words.
You're using big words, and I'm so exhausted. I know what this word is too, but I'm having aphasia, which means I'm getting ready to have a migraine.
Oh God, not again.
No, thank you. You just cued me off that I'm going to need to take some Advil tonight before bed, pre-game, before I go to sleep, so I don't wake up with migraine.
We don't want him to have a migraine Saturday, guys.
Conscious.
You go. He did it.
And or falling into the matter, and we can walk outside and see them any night. They're here in Grant County, wherever they are. Okay, so Jason, we're going to show you some stuff real quick. They're still in here, right, Ron?
I think.
Okay, so here we go. These we have detected.
Are they here?
For those of you guys who are new in the chat, hanging out here for a second, we have captured subjects that are only visible on thermal. Oh no!
Is it not there?
Yep, here it is. Found it.
Thought I put them back in. Yeah, I put them back in.
These were only visible on thermal. These things are physical, solid. They're radiating heat, and they move incredibly fast. Those may or may not be some of the other things that we've seen. If you watch this clip again, I'm going to play.
Walk back. We should normally see about 0.4 milligauss, and we should easily be able to pinpoint its origin. However, Joe was standing in an area that was clearly above normal background readings. Everybody back up. There was nothing in this area that we could find to account for this EM field.
Like, I'm in it. Right here. Right here.
Yeah, you are. There it is.
In that instance, we were dealing with something that we couldn't see, but was manifesting with some kind of energy, right? Now, the clip where that we showed a moment ago, that was a preview for the next episode. In that clip at the very end, when Ron says, "What the shoot?" or "Holy shoot," you can see this blue plasmoid type object just shoot across the screen. That was only visible on third generation night vision optics. It was invisible on thermal. I had my thermal trained in the exact same location, and it was not visible. It wasn't there. So the good thing is about third generation night optics is that we do know, we have some hard data here of, there we go. There's a solid physical object. We do have some hard data that these things, when they fade in and out, they're within a certain spectrum of nanometers, because that's the peak of what we're able to detect, and then they fade right back out. So they're in between 900 and 1100 nanometers. Do you have the orange one?
Let me find it.
See if you got it, and we'll cue that up and show it.
Okay.
I came back and we're talking woo. I'm here for it. It ain't woo, Ashley. Playing. But yeah, these the ones that are in that plasma spectrum, they're above the visual spectrum, and they're below the peak of third generation night vision optics. They're not visible on second generation night vision optics, which peaks out at around 700 nanometers. 750 to 750 nanometers. The
What came up with the
this
idea?
would put,
Whoops, sorry about that.
no, you're good. This would put that subject, that plasma thing, in and around 9 to 1100. So it's very, very interesting because we've got hard data on that. I've not heard a single soul other than us talk about this, and no one else in the UFO community seems to be really paying attention. Because we mentioned it in the previous episode. We mentioned it in this episode, this live stream as well. We've mentioned it in previous live streams.
Okay, it's uploaded.
And we've got hard data. We know what spectrum these things are coming in and exiting at least on our technology.
Well, we've shared that data with some people. So
We have.
Be interesting to see where that goes.
Yeah.
I'm
It really
really looking forward to it because that'll be like, well, someone listened.
Yeah, and
I'll be happy.
I'll be happy, but it'd be really nice to get a shout out. That'd be cool.
No, that's not going to happen.
But the
let's see. Okay, it's processing. We're getting it up here.
cool.
This is I believe this is the research reel. I believe that's what this is.
Okay. So the subject that you're getting ready to see is between 900 and 1100 nanometers. The one that was at the end of that clip was the same, 900 to 1100 nanometers. We know that because we had first generation night vision on the one that you're getting ready to see, and it was invisible. Had thermal on it, it was invisible. It was only visible on third generation night vision.
Here we go. Got it.
Here it is. We'll point it out for you when it comes in.
No, this one, there is no audio on this one. It's been stripped. This is a research reel that we use that you'll see in the video. So I guess you're going to see another exclusive clip.
Here we come. Here we come right here.
The timer has started up in the corner. You can see this is the duration of the sighting. So it kind of hover there for just a slight second and boom, now it's going to go. And when it goes, it
warp drives right on out.
Sure does. Yeah. It just literally is gone. And I have no idea what that is. Like it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
It's pretty
It is
impressive.
one of the coolest pieces that we've been able to collect.
And how it happens it's pretty impressive too. You'll get to see that on there too.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, both of these sightings, the way that they happen, it's, I don't know.
Very interesting.
It's interesting. Let's just say that. Leave it there. I'm not going to give you everything. but those who are at the show, this the meeting, whatever, Saturday, you're going to get to see some stuff. And we may make you sign a NDA. No, I'm kidding. We're not making you sign an NDA.
Not at this one.
But you're going to get to see it. And it's pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff.
I might share my taco recipe with you, but that you will have to sign an NDA for.
Yeah, I understand that.
Tony says you too can earn your degree at Wild and Weird Wooniversity.
Oh man,
Wild and Weird Wooniversity needs to be a T-shirt.
We can't do it. We can't do it. No, we cannot do that. Could we? I don't know. No, we shouldn't.
Oh, Enzo said that was November 2nd. Weird. That's my birthday.
Yeah.
Very
what
cool.
else? What other day is that, Ashley?
What other
Ashley Hilt? Because I know you're here. It's a very important day.
Yeah, Ashley.
And the time that happened was pretty darn close.
Did you see that, Ashley?
I bet she didn't see it.
Ashley, come back.
Summon her. Everyone, summon Ashley.
You can't summon Ashley because summoning is evil, remember?
Oh, that's right. You're right. Let's not invite her. Yes, exactly. Yes, it is. And literally that's the crazy, another one of those crazy synchronicities or coincidences that took place during this.
Yeah,
It's
it's
very
very
strange. When you think about that, and you think about the fact that we had my first so-called whatever Bigfoot type whatever sighting, that was on the anniversary of friggin'
It
Hopkinsville.
was. It was.
Like, I don't know.
Octopus says every time we look into the void looks back and says, "Oh shoot," and turns tail. Actually, it says, "Holy shoot."
Holy shoot. It says holy shoot, Octo. Holy shoot. Yeah.
Oh man.
It's like it
Power of
reminds
Damn
me.
says that moving at mock Jesus.
Oh,
Exactly.
you just wait. That's gonna be a national thing here very soon.
It will be. I can't wait.
Yeah. I believe it is the next. Yeah, it's next episode.
Next episode.
It is next episode. He's been waiting for months for this. So yeah. Thank you. Awesome capture. Yeah, it was awesome capture. I'm not sure how it happened, but it's an awesome capture.
And then there's so much. We can't talk about it all.
No, but you get to see the full uncut version of that clip when it does air. You will see the full uncut version of how that happened. And it's just crazy to see what could have happened there.
Yeah. It's
good stuff, man. It's good stuff. But we're leading up to the end, like I said, and we are going to
Wild Weird Glowiversity.
I believe that Horizons will go out on a very huge note and a very open note, because it's really just the beginning of our next phase. And
it is.
That's going to be spectacular.
Because you guys are going to keep seeing stuff. We're going to be able to do more field stuff. And it's going to be fun.
It's going to be something. It's going to be something. We're pretty happy with how things are going. And, we'll definitely be seeing you on the road. Let's just put it that way.
Absolutely.
And some of you probably more than others, but just saying. So we've got quite a few things coming up here, by the way, as far as on the road goes. We do have a appearance coming up here shortly.
We do.
Project Odd.
531, we're going to be local for this one. And then Project Odd is going to be in Nitro, West Virginia from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. We will be doing a presentation and setting it on a panel. Yeah.
And it's going to be a lot of fun and weather dependent. I don't know if Zorp and Cargon's going to show up or not, but that's dependent on weather. But it's going to be a good time regardless. And we are just going to have a blast.
Michael, you do the same, brother, and enjoy that Austin weather. I think you guys are getting hot now. Is that right?
Is it getting warm down there?
Enjoy your weekend, my friend.
I hope it gets warm here eventually.
Yeah, right. Man. This up, down, cold, hot, cold, hot.
Yeah, someone's got to put new batteries in the weather machine. That's all there is to it.
They do. They need to.
Maybe that's what's
the pyramids up, and then
I was going to say, yes, that's what we need to do. We need to get the pyramids. Yes, that's right. We need to recharge them so they can get the weather machine charged back up and working right.
Yes,
that's true.
Then, speaking of on the road as well, on 5/3, we're going to be at OBC. It's a big family reunion with all our favorite Bigfoot people, and
some of them
we're the odd birds out there.
Some are our favorite. I wouldn't say all of them. That Glenn guy's weird.
Yeah, Glenn's something weird. Glenn is an odd duck. You're right.
He's odd. I don't know about him.
And it's gonna be good times. Gonna be good times. We can't wait to get up there. OBC is always fun. We're gonna do some filming while we're there, because why not? We have the last 3 years, and we've gotten really interesting stuff all 3 times. So why not again?
It's always an adventure when we go up there.
It really is.
If you watched, I know you did, you guys who got to see, was it episode 6, right? Paranormal Horizon episode 6 when we went. Yeah, we were. How that whole thing happened, another weird. Something else is gonna roll the dice and make this happen. We went there for no other reason than just to interview Glenn, because the year before I sat down with him, we had a couple of margaritas, and he gave me the best interview absolute best professional interview that I think I had ever gotten. And I was so happy. And then at the end of it, we realized the mics had been turned off. They weren't even recording. So he was going to go over that. And we were going to do that again. We got up there and you saw the rest right there. Hey guys, I know we're supposed to go do this interview, but man, a friend of mine just came by the table and they just saw Bigfoot not that long ago. And this is a fresh case. And I'm well, okay, well, let's go. And that's how that went down.
Trackways said, I saw Glenn 2 days ago.
Oh boy, a Glenn sighting.
But yeah, Glenn's one of our favorite people. Can't wait to get up there. Oh goodness.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be absolutely blast.
Then we've got the Appalachian UFO Festival. It's June the 14th.
We'll
be there. It's gonna be a absolute ball. I might get a tattoo.
I'm not. So before anyone asks, nope. That ain't happening.
I might get a tattoo. It depends on how I'm feeling that day.
You know what you should do? You should get a radioactive tattoo.
I need to. That would be hilarious.
Yep. You need to get one of those ones that you can only see with a black light. That way we can hit you out in the field.
No, only with the black lights and just have +5 rads.
Yes.
In the little box with the +5 rads.
It's got to happen. That's it. You can't even see the tattoo. It's just complete. You've seen those, right? The black light tattoos. Yeah, that's what you need. That's exactly what you need.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
That would be great. That's what we need to do. That's absolutely perfect.
Donna jumped in. What's going on, Donna?
Oh,
I saw you pop in there a little while ago. Just didn't get a chance to snag you.
What?
November 2nd is All Souls Day.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, Glenn wasn't moving too well at the time. Talking about a couple of days ago. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be all right.
Yes, Appalachian UFO Fest used to be the Withville UFO Fest. It's moved to Bristol, Virginia.
Yep.
And it's just about an hour further down the road.
Yep, it's gonna be a good time. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and there will be things going on there.
You're going to have to send me some pictures, man. Octopus's dragon tattoo went really well over the weekend, so it's good.
Oh, that's good.
Hopefully you're healing up well and taking good care of it. We've got obviously road trips planned to go do some research in some areas.
Some areas you might be familiar with.
Exactly. And we're excited to get some of that underway. Boy, yep.
And some areas that you're not familiar with as well. So there's that. There's some good stuff. There's some really good stuff coming.
Yes.
Because we actually managed to kind of work out a plan, I think, as far as how this phenomena, whatever it is, seems to be interacting. So time to test a little bit, time to get out there and do some new things, throw some new stuff at it, and see exactly what we can capture.
Yep. And throw as much of it as we can.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Cover the entire, blanket the sky.
Yep, pretty much.
And capture everything we can.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be good
time. Work done. Very interesting living out there, Don. And oh yeah, he's talking about up there in the Northeast. I'll be in Point Pleasant area here in about 2 weeks for something super secret, but maybe when I secure a date, I'll let y'all know. Yeah, let us know. We'll come hang out.
Let us know. I think we need to play some golf. I think
we have a studio up there.
That too, but I think we need to play some golf too. I haven't got to play my golf this year yet. So
yeah, one of our offices is actually above the museum, Ashley. I don't know if you knew that or not, but we have an office up there now. It's been good times. But yeah, when you're in the area, definitely let us know. We'll come hang out.
For sure.
We don't get to see you enough throughout the year anyway. So if you're coming that close, we're half an hour and 45 minutes away.
Oh, yeah. I know a place we can take her.
Oh, heck yeah. Ashley, you would love that too.
If you want me to parachute golf, I will happily do so.
Have you guys? How many of you guys have been to the Mothman mini putt putt? I know several of you guys went when you were at the workshop, but we may or may not be responsible for anybody's missed shots on hole number 6.
Yeah, hole 6 is fun. They've upgraded a little bit. If you were there last, and that was the last time you were there, they have upgraded a little bit. There's a couple new little things here and there. So definitely get down there by all means. What'd she say? I need what?
Oh, I need someone to do a CE5 with, and I clearly know someone who is a radioactive magnet. We could definitely use a shield. Hey, for real, if you're coming up this way to do some kind of an experiment like that, we know a place.
I do know a place, yeah. We both know a place. Very good place.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Now, I've never been to a putt-putt before. Oh.
What?
Well, you got to think, depending on where you're at, putt-putt might be kind of,
That's true. I always think about that because, we're so used to going to the coast and, Myrtle and all that.
We had Rock Lake here for decades.
We had that, and we had little things here and there on vacation as well, but
yep.
Yeah. You're right. A lot of people don't have it.
Don't misuse the glowy Joey.
Oh my God. Please stop.
We'll work something out. I won't even tell the aliens about what happened at golf.
Oh, they'll know. They'll know,
man.
Ashley. They'll know.
That's funny.
Anyway, folks, you got any questions? You got any comments? You're all pretty quiet tonight, which is kind of odd. You're always throwing a bunch of really good questions out. Don't take what we said as a literal fact, like a lot of these people do. Do your own research. That's the best thing to do with this whole thing. Anytime you see it, that's the whole thing. Everyone's just sharing this stuff. It's like, do you even know what you're sharing? I mean, do you even know what that is? Do you understand what that is?
So let's, review a little bit.
Let us review
a little bit because and we can speculate now. We've covered the facts. Okay,
all right, folks, it's time to speculate. So lock in your speculations and
pure speculation coming up. Okay, this is just playing us playing devil's advocate.
Demons.
So hypothetically,
Jason,
we do have this karstland.
Okay, yeah.
All throughout the plateau.
Yep.
Jason, good night, buddy. Catch you next rodeo.
Good question. Have there been a lot of UFO spotted around the pyramids? What's really funny about that, Rob, is that it kind of depends on who you believe. I've seen reports of it, and I've seen others who are just like, that was fake. Yeah. So, very good question.
Ashley says, I speculate that Joe is the devil. Not just the advocate.
Just straight into it, Ashley. All right.
But it is limestone, right?
Yeah.
And it's karstland. Limestone is conductive.
Yeah. Well, let's also take it back a couple of millennia.
Yeah.
They didn't look like that.
Mm-mm.
The pyramids didn't look like that. They actually had, the limestone sides, highly polished, and the capstone. I mean, they did not look like this. This is a skeleton, what we see today, literally.
Yeah. We're seeing the interior of what's remaining.
Yeah.
Because the sad thing about limestone is that, you and I both know this. When you put it in a reactor in water, what happens?
Oh, yeah. She's gone.
she dissolves. It goes
Yep.
into the water. That's why there are limestone treatments for certain bodies of water that having pH issues.
Ashley thinks she has to apologize for being spicy. Ashley, you don't have to apologize for being spicy. We like spicy around here. That's why
That's
we have
right.
these official Mr. B's Mothman potato chips right here. Yes, that's Mothman potato chips.
And we
They're spicy.
we got to look at this. This is the water could have been there. Why the limestone is also conductive. The pyramids were capped in limestone, and the rain and weather and sand has eroded it away. It is very, very possible that this could have been some form of a primitive. I'm not even going ancient, crazy high technology, but a primitive way to harness some sort of power. And I'm just saying, like on a base human level. I'm not talking about any interference. I'm not talking about ancient astronaut theory yet, but the possibility's there. And it's also there that they could have built the structures on top of these hollowed out chambers.
Well, yeah. I mean, any of it's possible, right?
Because if these pyramids were supposed to have been some sort of a temple, because they weren't tombs.
No.
If they were places of reverence, we've seen how these chambers are dug out into their structure and go into the ground. It's very possible that similar to the Mesoamerican pyramids, that they had their theories with the afterlife and the semblance of what these bodies of mercury and bodies of other fluids in the bellies of these pyramids could have been, that they could have found one of these large voids that had water in it, built structure on top of it, and had their own kind of, well, this is where, the underworld is.
Well, we can also go down another speculative rabbit hole and say that the pyramids were built on top of something else that was already there. And we see this today with the churches in Europe, for example, and the churches here. Well, yeah, but the thing is, they've built literal churches on top of these mounds, and these other structures all throughout the world. So whoever is the conqueror of the land at the time gets to do whatever they want for the time that they're here, right? And that's where we get the cultural, cross contamination throughout time. And that becomes a really big issue, especially with sites, such as, say, Cahokia, for example, Serpent Mound locally, where they're highly contested. Was it Fort Ancient? Oh, no, it's, this is a paleo piece. This is, no one knows, because all these different cultures came through and they claimed it for a short period of time in some way or form,
or even if they didn't claim it, they came by and they left their fingerprint.
That's what I mean by that. We see that as, oh, they were here. Well, not necessarily. They could have been passing through.
Yeah.
That's a fact. And I've even been told, they actually desecrated some of these places on purpose, just for that reason. So, we don't know. And to that extent, I don't think that it's going to be as easy as people want it to be. Even if you went down there, all right, let's just throw it at it. Say they go over there and they do somehow miraculously get to dig in this site, right? So they go down and they find, I don't know, they find something down in the lower chambers, and it's only about, let's push it back. Well, Egyptian. It's around 3,000 years old, right? And what happens then is the Antiquities comes in and says, see, we told you it was all Egyptian, everybody out. And you don't go any further down. And now all of a sudden, everything from 3000 BC right here gets pushed down and says, oh, well, this is all 3000. Yep. They built the whole thing. That's how it works. That's exactly how it works. They look for that one piece of data that validates what they already want it to be. And that's
which could very well be just something that fell in a hole.
Exactly. So
Octopus came out with his devil's advocate, said the spirals are the water slides, in the middle of the columns are the energy collectors, and the bottom holds the charge, and then boom, Tesla coil.
I mean, The water slide part's cool.
Yeah, right. They need to call in the Oak Island crew.
Oh yeah, they'll get it dug out, probably record time.
Yeah, 8 or 10 seasons.
Well,
The
the mysteries of Giza. No, I'm kidding. Sorry.
And we're gonna go even deeper into speculation land. Let's take the plunge. Why not?
I don't know.
What if the pyramids were built on top of these structures to hide them, and deep below there's something under the ground, and those ports, those holes going from beneath to the surface, aren't anything more than hangar doors?
Well, now you've just gone full on ancient astronaut.
I told you we'll go full, lean into it deep.
You don't ever go full ancient astronaut theorist. Okay.
I'm just a dude with no hair pretending to be a dude with hair.
No. Actually, I think Giorgio had the best answer of anyone
he had a
that I've seen. And it's basically what we said here. We need to know more. We know this. We know that area has, like you said, it's riddled with karst land. We know that. There's all kinds of tunnels. It's been found for years. What we don't know is what this is all about.
Right. I'm digging personally. Like if I'm leaning full sci-fi, I'm really liking the hangars.
Hangars,
and down beneath is where they all park.
If you think there's a big hangars and the ships just came down, right?
Yep. You've got a hangars down underneath, and you have doors and ports to go into the hangar and park. That's why they're circular, because they're they're shaped like the sports ball.
Okay. All right. So those were on top before, and then they just built the pyramids over top of that to hide all that.
Up and hide them.
Okay. Well, you know what's really funny about that is that's what Ross Cohart said about that one giant UFO, the one giant craft.
That they built a structure. There's a massive structure that is smeared out and removed from Google Earth's view.
Yeah. It's built on top of a ship that was so big that they couldn't move it and get it out of the ground. So they just built a structure on top of it, covered up. So yeah, that, or it could be a reverence as well. Let's go back to that. It could be like I said.
We forgot how to use these, but
yep, exactly. So it very well could be.
It says, when I originally saw the pictures of the columns and the spirals, I immediately thought of giant shock absorbing springs under Cheyenne Mountain. Just my initial thoughts.
Well, I thought support system. I mean, when you showed it to me, I'm like, well, that's what they did in Venice.
Then Larry Hose, to many more get-togethers to come. Thank you, brother.
Yes, thank you very much.
Many, many more.
Whoops.
I was bringing up the same one. Ashley said, did you know the origin story of the Lanulosians is that they were earthlings that crash landed on Lanulos? You would if you read my book.
There you go. There you go. Well, I had it somewhere, Ashley. I was going to put it up there for you. Don't give me
this theory too. Water slides into portals to Mars, pyramids and Venus pyramids, and like Sirius.
Well, this is just going to make someone happy. Anyway. Well, hang on. It's trying to load.
Ashley says, I'm just saying, there's a super intelligent alien human species before us. But so many contactees report similar origin stories of ancient humans.
Well,
and
it's true.
there's Ashley's book. Go check it out. Indrid Cold, Searching for the Man from Lanulos by Ashley Hild, with an absolutely stunning eye-catching.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. That's really cool. That cover is very cool. Very retro. I like that.
You need to make that like a poster somehow, Ashley.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, look, you're gone again.
Oh, hold on. We got it.
That's aggravating. Anyway, yeah. So, yeah, go buy the book and read it. And, hopefully I'll get my hands on one here soon because I might actually have time to read books. I don't know. I doubt it though.
What if you jump into an Egypt pyramid tunnel and pop out of a pyramid in Alaha?
I mean, okay. It could happen. Anything could happen at this point, right? Because this is speculation land.
Do you know where I got the inspiration for the book cover?
No.
Anybody who can name it gets a prize. The Smarty Pants badge.
Smarty Pants badge.
Reminds me of the Doors of Perception. The interesting thing about this whole pyramid stuff, beyond all the obvious interesting stuff, is the absolute amount of backlash.
Mm.
And we've talked about the whole, backlash when it comes to the taboo for years. We've talked about that exhaustively.
Yes.
But why the backlash?
Well, that's a good question.
Ivan T. Sanderson's uninvited visitors.
And I want to make this clear that Tony Breeden did not get that correct. I would drop my mic, but it's attached.
Oh, that is hilarious. Oh, I see it, Ashley. That is very interesting. I see where you pulled the art. Yeah, that's clever. That is a nice little homage. I see how it is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. So Ron, why do you think there's so much backlash with this? Just before we wind
It's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. That's all. It's just uncomfortable. It's a very uncomfortable theory when you deal with the possibility that you've got to acknowledge the fact that this may be true. It's the same thing what we're seeing with the UAP thing. It's the same exact thing. That's why it's taken years to just do this little delicate dance to where we sit back and say, well, it is true, but here are the facts. And then you look at the facts and you're like, well, if those facts check out, if you're saying this is true, then what about this list of stuff over here that these guys you called nuts and kooks and conspiracy theorists for years have been saying? Because there's a couple of those that check the list. If this is true, that is the problem. And then on top of that, unlike the UAP and UFO phenomena, big dollars are at stake.
Yeah.
Big dollars are at stake. Tourism dollars are at stake. Yep. I know people think, they'd make more money if they, if they embrace this, but not necessarily. They've made their money off of tourists who want to hear the history that they know.
Right. And think about this. If it was the case that they would make more money, because there have been some people who've made that argument, that they would make more money if they even just entertained a little bit of this side. Were that the case, then the people who own these paranormal and unusual museums across the world would be rolling in the dough.
Yeah,
And that's not the case. It's really a
No.
labor of love if you're going to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you guys, you can go and take one of these, which is awesome that they did embrace it enough, because in the beginning, they did not embrace the ancient astronaut people, the theorists, any of that, right? But over the years, Zahi has actually said, you know what? You believe what you want. You come on over and pay us money and we'll let you do the thing. And they've done that with tour groups. But those tours aren't that expensive.
No.
So here's the thing. They're not making that much money.
Right.
They already know they're not going to make that much money. So they're not about to invest in some kind of, infrastructure that's going to, let's build a giant, UFO landing base over here in the desert. And, all these people will come. No, they really won't. Just build your museum, talk about the history that the history that's everyone knows, because that's a lot more comfortable. Now, we might address this in the future. That's true.
Because the Hall of Records is not something they really want to find, because it would throw many into a cognitive conflict.
Oh, there'd be more than a cognitive conflict. It could destroy the very world if it's real. If it's actually what it is, the very first thing that would happen, weaponization. And if you're talking about weaponizing something that is akin to, Thor's lightning bolt here, we're talking about powers beyond recognition that we couldn't comprehend, possibly, if that's the case.
If you think me getting irradiated on camera on a regular basis is impressive, just wait till the entire world gets radiated all at once at the click of a finger.
Right. Or just doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Because there's that technology that was said to exist too. Remember the chair?
Yep.
The throne that was said to allow you to sit in it and literally manifest anything that you thought of. It would be created. These are the tools of the gods, basically. Okay. For lack of a better word, that's what they were. If that stuff is real, we know the monkeys don't need to touch that.
The pink apes don't need it.
No, they do not. Trust me. You don't want this. Weaponizing reality, bad idea.
Yeah.
We're actually going to talk about that one day. That's a future episode. Because that's real. That's real. There actually has been attempts to weaponize reality, allegedly. So yeah, it's going to be a weird year. I'm just going to promise y'all that.
Yes, it will. Forget the actual technology implied. They would weaponize it, the acceptance and denial of the revelation itself. Oh yeah. It'd be new cult 101 is.
Yep. That's true.
Who said no one can say no water babies exist unless they see water babies existing, which is not the same as not seeing any water babies? Was it Ivan T. Sanderson?
Tony, was it? I don't know.
Tony would know.
That's just funny.
But I don't think some of the backlash that this is getting is entirely fair. Some of it is totally fair.
Yes.
Some of it is 100% called for.
Yes.
The calling into question the people's character and their credibility based off of the fact that they're interested in specific phenomena. Not cool.
Or that they are an experiencer.
Does it call into question? Does it call into question Harry Reid's credibility? Does it call into question Robert Bigelow's credibility?
Gary Nolan.
Question, the credibility of the Travis.
Hello, Gary Nolan has gone on record and said, "I saw what can only be described as gray beings, face to face." He eventually mentioned that. He said that. And yet here he is, and he's still, he's the guy. I mean, he knows his stuff. He peer-reviewed papers. No one can argue with that.
Is Tony Ivan T. Sanderson?
That's funny.
Enzo says, I feel the backlash we've seen so far is pretty standard. Yeah, it some of it's standard, but some of it when they started making the personal attacks,
that's not
towards
cool, man.
The credibility, that was a little bit further than standard. I mean, it's kind of, I guess, what's really become the standard for the last few years. So I do agree with you there, because they did it with Grush. They've done it with a few other people. They go and they attack the character.
Yep.
Hey,
I'm going to make it real easy for you. You can attack my character all you want, but it ain't going to change that data. I'll tell you again, whatever is there is going to be there, regardless if you believe it or not. It doesn't matter whether we want to think that this is the halls of Amenti, or whether it's, some kind of a cosmic arc that's underneath, everything that stuff survived in because of some great catastrophe that befell the earth, or whether it's just a big cavern that's natural. The point is, it's there.
They could have sealed Godzilla in there too.
It could be. I don't think it's big enough. It's there. Well, I guess it could be. It is big enough. Yeah. He could be laying on his side a little bit.
Get him in there. He curls up and lays like a cat.
Right. Yeah. He could do that.
And we already saw him erupt out from underneath the pyramids in the last movie. So it's very possible that was actual real footage.
Oh, God. Anyway. And that right there is why no one takes this show serious, folks. But it's okay. We like it.
Oh, man.
Be authentic or don't be.
Unfortunately, we live in a time where the data doesn't seem to mean anything. I wish I understood when, where, and why that happened. Oh, God, right? Sensationalism sells.
Yes. That's exactly why, Ashley.
Yeah.
That's exactly why. Like, we could literally blow this channel up if we just came on here and did what everybody else does. If we just came on here and did nothing but basically play clips from the news, or we attack someone,
terrible opinions on it,
or attack someone. That's what they want. They want this banter. That's not what we do. We
and
just
they
don't
want
do that.
They want the cutting down. They want people to come in and say, "Oh, so and so did this and there." Da, 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 da.
It's
no,
ego.
sorry.
It's ego driven, and that's it. That's the problem. When you're data driven, that doesn't matter.
Octopus says, Joe, you're right. It's the hallway to the Hollow Earth, like Godzilla versus Kong.
Why are you encouraging him?
Telling you, those movies are a documentary.
Oh, well, Stargate's already beat you all. So
that's true. Stargate did beat us.
Literally.
Yeah.
There's 10 seasons of it that says that this has all been preordained.
If the scans of the pyramid revealed that someone already knew about and were wanting to stay quiet, what would the backlash have looked like? I think like this. Honestly,
it does seem like they didn't want it really.
Before you jumped in tonight, Enzo, we kind of touched that, where we had mentioned that they knew something was under the pyramids, because the way that this whole project was proposed and came around, you have to get permission to do anything there. And they said that this sonar could potentially help uncover tombs or other chambers underneath the pyramids. And so the antiquities department was like, yeah, sure, let's do this, because they knew something was under there. They're the ones that told them, aim it here.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they were looking for tombs, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
And again, they need
They
those
need
tombs.
one. They need a tomb in the worst way.
They need a tomb. They need to find one mummy. That's what they need. Just one mummy in the pyramid or under it, and then they can put it all to rest and say, "We told you so." It only took us, hundreds of years to prove it, but here it is. That's what they need.
Face huggers.
Oh man.
Face huggers. It's the holding chamber that the Yautja use to release the alien hordes, so that way they can send the predator young bloods to come and hunt.
I mean, there's a lot of science fiction tropes that have been used that are very similar to this. Ancient things you don't open up, and Pandora's box. There's there's cautionary tales here, folks.
There are indeed.
Maybe the Egyptian Antiquities Authority has it right. Just leave it alone. Don't touch it. After all, don't even ask how worse can it get.
Oh, because we didn't cover that part.
Yeah.
On next week's episode of Wild and Weird Radio Live, we're going to be covering briefly why you do not want to go and raid a tomb in Egypt. Because, boy, did we find out some interesting stuff. Oh, man.
Well, you already knew it.
Yeah.
You've been through it. So just not to that extent.
Right. Not to that extent.
But yeah. It's true. The curse of the, the pharaohs, all that, there could be rooted in fact. So yeah, we're going to touch that. And then we'll have something else that I'm sure the news is going to throw at us by then.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
Where are the drones? Where are all those drones? Where'd they go?
Yeah.
They're still there. I've heard stories, but what happened?
According to the mayor of New Jersey, they're in his backyard.
I heard that there's not going to be more weather balloons. So, yeah, that's what I heard. I heard today.
More swamp gas too.
That's what I'm saying. So, is this the government's plan? Is this how they're going to reveal that UFOs are real? They're going to get rid of the weather balloons, and now they have nothing to blame it on when they see it. It can't be weather balloons.
It's true.
Got to look on the bright side, folks. Yes, we will have more tornadoes and terrible weather, but we'll have UFO proof. Anyway.
We will indeed. Remember this weekend, March 29th, explore the unknown with us at 267 Staunton Avenue, Southwest, South Charleston, West Virginia, 25303. Come hang out with us. Starts at 4 o'clock, runs to 9 p.m. There will be a taco bar as well as some potluck in delectables that are being brought. We're going to have a really good time. We're going to be doing some data reveals, presentations, equipment demos, hands-on work. It's going to be a really good time. This is the first of the quarterly meetings. If you can come, it's free. Absolutely free. Come hang out with us. Go and screenshot that header or go over to Facebook and find the group event page and go grab the address, plug that directly into Google Maps, and it will take you straight to where we're going to be. You will drive through a residential area on your way there. Okay, guys, you are not lost. Follow the maps. It will take you right where you need to be. You will find a small building with a decent sized parking lot. That's where we're going to be at. It's going to be awesome. We can't wait to see you guys this weekend. And will be some special guests I hear that might be showing up. So be prepared for the unexpected.
Yep, it's going to be fun. We're going to kick this off in the real way, and we're going to make sure that the collective is there. So, and a lot of you people were with us from the very concept of this, so you deserve to be there. And it's going to be a blast. So why not live it up? We're going to have some tacos. We're going to tell some stories. We're going to look at some equipment. We're going to have some fun.
Enzo says it sounds like fun. Maybe next year for me. Well, we're doing these quarterly, so even if you want to maybe plan one out for later, join us or next year.
Yeah, I can't tell you, but I can say that we're going to have. Wait, what did we do tonight? Did we hit close to 10? Close to 10.
Let's see. We got 6.
Oh. That's unfortunate. Wait, no, we can't have 6 because we had like more than that earlier, I thought.
No, we were 7 away from the goal.
Oh, 7 away.
And we went up 3 more.
Oh, okay. Well, anywho, join us next week when we reveal exactly who the first guest will be to the next meeting, because it's going to be a fun one.
You're going to have a blast.
Yeah, blast. Absolute blast.
And but for real, come hang out with us. It's fun. It's free. It's going to be a good time. It's a 1-day event. And then there's also workshops we're going to be announcing soon. We got the first that season's coming around, and you're going to be catching us on the road and doing some workshops and doing these events.
Bring your equipment. Someone asked about that. Yes, bring your equipment. I know someone said something about they were going to bring their equipment and wanted to see how it worked. Yes, bring your equipment.
Yeah,
don't forget, there will be door prizes. There's some cool door prizes as well.
And you don't have to pay to enter those either. It's just for coming.
No, you already paid.
Yep.
Or either parts of the collective helped to pay for it. But that's the whole point. This is your stuff. So come and get it. Them tacos, they ain't going to eat themselves.
Exactly.
I mean, come on. That'd be weird.
So, guys, this weekend, the 29th, going to be in South Charleston, Staunton Avenue, Southwest South Charleston. Come hang out with us. It's going to be an absolute ball. Good food, good friends, good times. I'm super stoked to see everybody because I've missed your all's faces. It's been too long since I've seen some of you guys, and it's going to be a good time. Then tell me what gear you like, whatever you want to bring, brother.
Yeah, what do you want to bring? Whatever you want to bring. Literally, the idea of this is just to get everybody in the same spot and share information. Hey, I use this, but this is how I use it. Is that right or wrong? No, but that's how I do it. Maybe you might want to try that. It's kind of like, that's what it's all about. And people don't do this. I'm just going to tell you now, no one does this. This is the first time this has ever literally been done. It is a bold thing to do. That's why it's called the Collective. And I'm excited just because of the fact that if we do this, we're going to get some people out there who are all on the same track.
Yeah.
And they're going to be thinking the same ways when they go out into these fields. They're going to take what they learned and they're going to be like, I might apply that at some point in the future. Kind of like Ashley was thinking earlier. It's the same thing. When we compare notes, we move forward.
Now, Octopus here, he brings up a good point. He's the octopus is agreeing with jealousy.
Ah,
he lives up in New England area. So I was thinking over the last couple of days, specifically and especially with the future events, not this one, a little bit more planning, we will be able to create a closed streaming session.
Yep.
To bring just you guys into who are part of what we do here, like Donna Ho and Octopus with a few friends.
Yeah.
And those of you guys who are spread out across the country, you can join in and you can watch it in a private session and you can ask your questions directly. And I think that'd be really cool. It's just, we got to get a way to set that up and it's going to take a long time.
Yeah. So that's a future thing we're thinking about. So we are trying to figure out a way to make it all inclusive for all you guys here. Okay.
Yeah.
So, you've supported us. It's time to support back. And I really hope the ones that do make it enjoy themselves. And don't worry, guys, there'll be some photos. There'll be some videos. We're going to make sure it gets documented enough and we'll make sure you get to see it in some way. Not all of it, but you'll get to see some of it. I can't show you all of it because these guys are going to get to see stuff that no one's going to get to see for a long time. And
not just that, like we want to have fun too. And if we're documenting the whole thing, then we're working.
Yeah. I'm kind of almost, look, here's what's going to happen. After we're wrapped with Horizons, I'm taking me about a month of nothing but just painting and doing stuff for shows because painting brings me enjoyment. That is rest for me. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And probably just playing a lot of video games. I'll be honest with you.
And I've got things like this guy that I got to work on and finish. And
that's terrifying.
You'll see. It'll look better. That's a rough.
It's like Mothman got like defoliated and lost his wings.
That's just an armature with clay armature that it's worked up. It's got to get fleshed out. But
that makes more sense.
But it's guys, we can't wait. This week
hold up. Are dogs allowed in the building? I don't think so. To be the bearer of bad news, I do not believe they are. It is a professional building, so I don't think
it's not. It's an office, like
yeah, and there's also a kitchen, so there's that.
Yeah, commercial kitchen.
Dang it!
And so the health department would lose their.
Yeah, that would not be a good thing.
So then let's see. So we're excited to see you guys.
Yeah. Anyone got any other questions? That was a good question.
Yeah.
Jen. That was a great question.
You're welcome.
I don't think anybody asked that.
Kids are welcome. If you got kids, bring them.
Heck yeah. Kids will have a blast. Trust me.
anything like that, wide open. This is free. Okay. Drinks, we're gonna be supplying some drinks, but if you really are particular about some stuff, bring your own drink.
Well, again, there's the potluck aspect of this as well. You know, you guys bring some food. There's a massive table there to set everything, tables to set everything on. So, you know, everybody can.
And if you guys want to just bring a case of soda each or a case of water or something,
whatever you want to do,
we'd welcome. That'd be cool.
Absolutely.
And we got cooler space for all that stuff.
Sure do.
So I think that kind of wraps us up.
I think we're good. Yeah.
Closes us out for the night. Everybody, thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for tuning in. We will see you again right here next week at 8 p.m. Eastern on Wild and Weird Radio Live. If you want to catch us in the meantime, you can come out and hang out with us at the get together on March 29th. Or you can get a hold of us at wildandweirdwv@gmail.com or go to our website, wildandweirdwv.com. The absolute best place to find anything and everything that we're doing is going to be over at Wild and Weird WV on YouTube. You can also check out Paranormal Horizons over on Small Town Monsters YouTube channel and soon to be streaming on other various platforms like LG, Samsung, etc. So be checking out for that. We'll give you guys an update once all that's done. The deal's been inked, so it's
make sure that you leave a comment. I always forget to tell you that, guys, that like and leave comments on these episodes too, because it helps the algorithm and not us.
Everybody go ahead and jump out of the live chat and go leave a comment in the real comment section.
The actual comment section. Yeah.
Because that boosts a lot. It really
I'll tell you this, Joe. These guys, they go above on the comments.
Really
I mean, we have like 1,000 comments that come through this thing now. I remember when we used to get 100 and get excited, but we have over 1,000 comments that come through on a single show now. If we had 1,000 comments on the actual video,
it'd blow it up.
Yeah, people would see this everywhere. Yeah, because that's how the algorithm works. So the more of that you guys can do, the more blessings we send to you. But now we'll see you. We will definitely see you soon.
And the bigger and crazier things we'll be able to do.
Oh, yeah. And next week, there will be a recap, of course, of the events. So don't fret. If you don't get to make it, it'll still be okay. There are others in the future and bigger things that are planned.
So, guys, remember, be careful. Traveling this weekend, coming to hang out. We want you to be safe. Then catch us in May 3rd. We are going to be, that's a little over a month away. May 3rd, we're going to be at OBC. May 31st, we are going to be in Nitro, West Virginia. Come hang out, catch us on the road. It is going to be a good time. Ron is donning his Hellbent Holler adventure hat. If you have any needs of adventure in your life, head on over to Hellbent Holler's YouTube channel and watch them as they go on excursions through the wilderness, also wearing their Hellbent Holler adventure caps themselves. You too can one day own a Hellbent Holler adventure cap if you catch them out on the road, because they're destined to have their gear with them and peddling some adventure caps guaranteed to elevate your experience in the wilderness by at least 13.3%. Stay wild and weird, everybody.